The night was quiet on Taiho Kim's farm. The stars shone brightly above his small house and fields. Taiho sat on his porch, drinking tea. At 52 years old, he had lived alone since his wife died 5 years ago. His farm, 2 hours from Seoul, was his whole world now. Another day done, Taiho said to himself. He looked at the photo of his wife on the small table beside him. The rice is growing well this year. Sumin. He was about to go inside when a bright light in the sky caught his eye. At first, Taiho thought it was a shooting star, but it grew bigger and brighter, and it was moving straight toward his farm. "What in the world?" he whispered. The light became a ball of fire. It shot across the night sky, leaving a trail of smoke. Taiho stood up quickly, knocking over his teacup. The object crashed into his rice field with a loud boom. The ground shook. His dog, Duri, began to bark wildly from inside the house. "Quiet, Duri," Taiho called. His heart beat fast. Should he call someone? The police? But what would he say? That a star fell on his farm. Taiho grabbed his flashlight and put on his boots. He had to see what happened. He walked quickly across his yard and down the path to the rice fields. Smoke rose from the center of his newest field, the one he had just planted last month. "My crops," he said with a groan. Farming was hard enough without space rocks destroying his fields. As he got closer, Taiho saw that the object was not very big. It had made a hole about the size of a small car. The object itself was round and smooth like an egg. It was silver and had no marks on it. It didn't look like any meteor he had ever seen in books or on TV. Taiho stood at the edge of the hole, shining his light on the object. Suddenly, a line appeared on the smooth surface. The line grew wider. The object was opening. Taiho stepped back, afraid. Should he run? Call for help? But curiosity kept him rooted to the spot. Inside the object was a small animal. It looked a bit like a cat, but not exactly. Its fur was blue-black and seemed to glow with tiny lights, like stars. The creature had 6 legs instead of 4. Its eyes were large and round, with no pupils, just solid gold color. The animal, if that's what it was, made a weak sound. It tried to move but fell back. Taiho saw that it was very small, like a kitten. It seemed hurt or sick. "You poor thing," Taiho said softly. "What are you? Where did you come from?" The creature looked at him. Its eyes blinked slowly. It made another weak sound. Without thinking, Taiho reached into the object and picked up the small being. It weighed almost nothing in his hands. Its fur felt soft and warm. The tiny lights in its fur glowed brighter when he touched it. "You're just a baby, aren't you?" Taiho said. "You're far from home." The creature curled up in his hands. Taiho could feel its small heart beating fast. "You're hungry," Taiho said. He didn't know how he knew this, but he was sure. And scared. Taiho looked up at the night sky. Was something, or someone, looking for this little one? He didn't see any more lights or strange objects. Just stars. "Well, I can't leave you here," he told the creature. "Let's get you to the house. We'll figure out what to do." He carefully put the small being in his jacket pocket. It didn't fight or try to escape. It just curled up inside, its fur glowing softly through the fabric. As Taiho walked back to his house, he wondered what he was getting himself into. This was not a lost cat or dog. This was something else entirely. "Sumin," he whispered to his late wife as if she could hear him. "I think life is about to get very interesting." Taiho placed the strange, 6-legged creature on a soft towel in a cardboard box. He set the box on his kitchen table. Duri, his old brown dog, sniffed at the box and whined. "I know, Duri. This is not normal," Taiho said. He gently touched the creature's head. Its fur still glowed with tiny blue lights. The lights seemed dimmer now. "You need food," Taiho said. "But what do you eat?" The creature's golden eyes watched him weakly. It made a small sound like a mew, but higher and with a strange echo. Tai-ho tried many foods. He put a small dish of water in the box. The creature sniffed it but did not drink. He tried bits of fish. The creature turned away. He tried rice, vegetables, and even some meat. Nothing worked. The creature would not eat. "This is not good," Tai-ho said. "You will die if you don't eat." As the night went on, the creature grew weaker. The lights in its fur became very dim. Tai-ho felt sad. He had found this amazing being from the stars, and now it was dying in his kitchen. "Think, Tai-ho," he said to himself. "What have you not tried?" Then he remembered his cow, Jia-young. She had given birth to a calf 3 months ago and still made milk. Tai-ho went to his small barn. Jia-young mooed softly when he turned on the light. "Sorry to wake you, my friend," Tai-ho said. He quickly got a small jar of fresh milk. Then he hurried back to the house. Tai-ho warmed the milk a little bit. He put some in a small dish and placed it in front of the creature. The effect was immediate. The creature's golden eyes opened wide. It sniffed the milk and made an excited sound. Then it began to drink quickly. "Slow down," Tai-ho said with a smile. "There's plenty more." As the creature drank the milk, something amazing happened. The tiny lights in its fur began to glow brighter. Soon, the whole kitchen was filled with a soft blue light. The creature's body seemed to pulse with energy. "Look at you," Tai-ho said in wonder. "The milk is making you strong." When the dish was empty, the creature looked up at Tai-ho and made a happy sound. For the first time, it stood up on all 6 of its legs. It was about the size of a small kitten. Its tail, which Tai-ho now noticed had a star-shaped tip, swished back and forth. "You need a name," Tai-ho said. "I can't just call you creature forever." He thought for a moment as he watched the glowing fur. "I will call you Bayul. It means star in my language." Bayul seemed to like the name. It made a chirping sound and walked in a circle. "More milk?" Tai-ho asked. He filled the dish again. Bayul drank quickly. Over the next few days, Tai-ho was amazed by how fast Bayul grew. After just 3 days, the alien cat was the size of a full-grown house cat. Its fur glowed brighter each day. Its movements became more sure and graceful. Bayul followed Tai-ho everywhere. When he worked in the fields, Bayul watched from the shade. When he cooked dinner, Bayul sat on the counter. At night, Bayul slept at the foot of Tai-ho's bed. 1 week after the crash, something new happened. Tai-ho was talking to Bayul as he often did. "The rice is growing well now," he said. "Even in the field where you crashed. Life is strong. It comes back." Bayul looked at him and then did something that made Tai-ho drop his coffee cup. The alien cat opened its mouth and said in a high, clear voice, "Life. Strong." Tai-ho stared at Bayul. Did you just speak?" Bayul tilted its head. "Speak, Tai-ho." "Bayul." Tai-ho sat down heavily in his chair. This is impossible." Bayul jumped into his lap and looked up with those golden eyes. "Not impossible. Different." Tai-ho laughed in amazement. "Very different." "Oh, Bayul, what are you? And what am I going to do with you?" Bayul's fur glowed brightly. "Stay, learn, grow." And that's exactly what they did. But neither Tai-ho nor Bayul knew what strange visitors would soon come looking for the star cat. 1 month after Bayul arrived on Earth, Tai-ho woke up early as usual. He turned on his small TV while making breakfast. Suddenly, all normal shows stopped. A news alert flashed on the screen. "We interrupt this program for breaking news," said the reporter. She looked scared. "Strange ships have appeared over Seoul, Tokyo, and New York. They are huge and like nothing we have seen before." Tai-ho dropped his coffee cup. It broke on the floor, but he didn't notice. The TV showed a massive ship floating over Seoul. It was round and silver, like a giant version of the pod that had brought Bayol to Earth. Bayol, Taiho called. Come here. Bayol, now the size of a large dog, came running. In the past month, Bayol had learned to speak quite well. The alien cat watched the TV with golden eyes that seemed to understand everything. My people, Bayol said simply. They have come. Taiho felt his heart sink. Part of him had known this day might come, but he had grown to love Bayol. The thought of losing his alien friend made him sad. Are they here for you? Taiho asked. Before Bayol could answer, the TV screen changed. A face appeared. It looked like an adult version of Bayol, a cat-like being with 6 limbs and fur that glowed with stars. When it spoke, its voice was deep and seemed to come from everywhere at once. People of Earth, the alien said, we are the Mirror Ray. We have come in peace to find something very precious to us. 1 month ago, a scout ship crashed on your planet. On that ship was a royal child, the only offspring of our queen. The alien's voice grew sad. If this child has died, we will mourn and leave your world in peace. If this child lives, we ask that you return the young one to us. We will reward whoever has protected our royal child. The message played in all languages at once. Every TV, radio, and phone on Earth broadcast the same words. Taiho looked at Bayol with new understanding. You are a prince or princess. I am both and neither, Bayol said. My kind does not have the same gender rules as humans. But yes, I am of the royal line. My mother is queen. Outside, Taiho heard helicopters. He looked out the window and saw military vehicles on the road to his farm. Someone had reported the crash a month ago. Now, with aliens in the sky, the army was checking all strange reports. They will take you, Taiho said, his voice breaking. The government will find you and give you to your people. I do not want to leave you, Bayol said. The alien cat pressed against Taiho's legs. You saved me. You are my friend. Taiho patted Bayol's head. The fur glowed bright blue at his touch. But your mother is looking for you, and these ships are scaring people. There might be war if your people think we are hiding you. The phone rang. It was Hanul. Taiho, are you watching the news? Those ships, they must be connected to Bayol. Hanul sounded excited and afraid at the same time. The military is setting up checkpoints on all roads. They're looking for anything strange. They'll find us soon. What should we do? Taiho asked. We need to make contact ourselves, Hanul said. On our terms, before the military takes over. I have an idea. I can use my equipment to send a signal like Bayol's fur patterns. Maybe his people will see it. Taiho looked at Bayol, then back out the window. More helicopters were flying over the hills now. They didn't have much time. Come to my farm quickly, Taiho said. Bring your equipment. We will try your plan. As he hung up the phone, Taiho heard loud voices outside. Men in uniforms were walking up his driveway. Hide, Bayol, Taiho whispered. Go to the cellar. Hurry. Bayol disappeared just as someone knocked hard on the door. Taiho took a deep breath and went to answer it, wondering if he was about to start or prevent an interplanetary war. Taiho opened his door to find 3 soldiers and a man in a black suit. Mr. Kim, the man in the suit asked. I am Agent Dae-sung from the National Intelligence Service. We need to ask you some questions about a meteor that fell on your land 1 month ago. Taiho tried to look calm. Yes, something fell in my rice field. I reported it to the local police. May we come in? Agent Dae-sung asked, but it wasn't really a question. The soldiers already had their hands on their guns. Of course, Taiho said. He moved aside to let them enter. He prayed Bayol would stay hidden. The men searched his small house. Agent Dae-sung asked many questions about the night of the crash. Taiho told most of the truth. He said he found a small metal object that opened, but he claimed there was nothing inside. He said the object had vanished the next morning. That's very strange, Agent Dae-sung said. He didn't believe Tae-ho. We're going to search your farm. If you're hiding anything, Mr. Kim, it would be better to tell us now. These aliens might be dangerous. Just then, a car pulled up outside. It was Hae-nul with her equipment. Who is that? Agent Dae-sung asked sharply. My friend, Dr. Park. She's a scientist who helped me check the crash site, Tae-ho said. The soldiers brought Hae-nul inside. She carried a large metal case. What's in the case? A soldier asked. Scientific equipment, Hae-nul said calmly. I study space signals. Agent Dae-sung looked suspicious. The aliens are looking for something that crashed here. Do you know what it is? Before anyone could answer, they heard a sound from outside. A deep humming filled the air. Everyone ran to the windows. A small silver ship, about the size of a bus, was landing in Tae-ho's front yard. The soldiers raised their guns. Agent Dae-sung spoke urgently into his radio. No, Tae-ho shouted. Don't shoot. They're peaceful. The ship landed softly on the grass. A door opened in its side. 3 tall figures stepped out. They looked like adult versions of Baeol, cat-like beings with 6 limbs and fur that glowed with star-like lights. They wore simple silver clothes. Oh my God, Hae-nul whispered. It's really happening. The tallest alien stepped forward. Its golden eyes scanned the humans at the window. When it spoke, its voice was clear and strong. We have detected the energy signature of our royal child in this dwelling. Return the young one to us immediately. The alien's tone was not friendly. The soldiers aimed their weapons. This will end badly, Tae-ho said. He made a quick decision. Baeol, you can come out now. There was a moment of silence. Then the cellar door opened, and Baeol walked into the room. Everyone gasped. The alien cat had grown even larger in the past hour. Now Baeol was the size of a tiger, and the star patterns in the blue-black fur were incredibly bright. No one shoot, Agent Dae-sung ordered, his voice shaking. Baeol looked at Tae-ho. Open the door. Friend, I must meet my people. Tae-ho nodded. He opened the front door, and Baeol walked outside. The soldiers and agents moved back, afraid. But Tae-ho and Hae-nul followed Baeol. The 3 adult aliens bowed when they saw Baeol. Royal child, they said together, we have found you at last. Everyone expected Baeol to run to the aliens. Instead, Baeol turned and walked back to Tae-ho. Baeol rubbed against Tae-ho's legs, just like a house cat might do. This human saved me, Baeol said in clear Korean. Then Baeol repeated it in the musical language of the Mirure. He fed me when I was hungry. He kept me safe. He is my friend. The tallest alien stepped forward. Its anger seemed to fade. It looked at Tae-ho with new interest. You have cared for our royal child, it asked. How did you feed one of our kind? Our young ones need special nutrients not found on most worlds. Cow's milk, Tae-ho said simply. Baeol liked it. The 3 aliens looked at each other in shock. Something important had just happened, but Tae-ho didn't understand what it was. The tallest alien stepped closer to Tae-ho. Its golden eyes showed surprise and wonder. I am Hoon-min, first guardian to the queen, the alien said. What you have done should not be possible. Our young ones cannot grow on other worlds. That is why we sent our royal child away during the attack on our palace. We hoped to find a safe planet where our child might survive until we could come. Agent Dae-sung moved forward. What attack? Are you at war? Is Earth in danger? Hoon-min looked at the agent. Your world is not in danger from us. But we have enemies. They tried to kill our queen and her only child. We barely escaped with the young one. Hae-nul joined the conversation. But why can't your young ones grow on other worlds? Baeol has been growing very fast here. The second alien, who was shorter with silver markings in its fur, spoke. I am Sai-woo, royal scientist. For many generations, our children have grown weaker. They need special food that was once common on our home planet. But a great disaster made this food rare. Our species is dying. Each generation, fewer children survive. Taiho thought about this, and this special food. Could it be something in cow's milk? Cow. Saiwu asked. What is this creature? Taiho pointed to his small barn. I can show you. Please, come this way. The soldiers and Agent Daesung looked nervous as the group walked to the barn. Inside, Jai-Yum the cow mooed softly at the strange visitors. This is a cow, Taiho explained. She makes milk for her babies. Bayol has been drinking this milk. Saiwu took out a small device and waved it over Jai-Dung. The device made a soft humming sound. Saiwu's eyes grew wide. Impossible, Saiwu whispered. This creature produces the exact compound our young ones need. We have searched 100 worlds and never found it. Bayol, who had been quiet, now spoke. The milk makes me strong. It makes my fur glow bright. Hun Min turned to the third alien, who had not yet spoken. Jayan, contact the Queen's ship. Tell her we have found not just the royal child, but perhaps the answer to our species' survival. The third alien nodded and returned to their ship. Agent Daesung looked confused. So your entire species is dying because your children can't get cow's milk? Saiwu replied, not exactly. There is a specific compound in this milk that our bodies need. On our world, this compound was in many plants, but a series of solar storms changed our planet's atmosphere. The plants died out. For generations, we have been searching for another source. Hanul was thinking fast, and earth cows produce this compound naturally. Yes, Saiwu said. It seems your planet has the answer we have sought for generations. Taiho felt a strange mix of emotions. He was happy that Bayol's people had found what they needed, but he was sad too. Now Bayol would leave with them. Will you take Bayol away now? Taiho asked quietly. Before Hun Min could answer, Bayol pressed against Taiho's legs. I wish to stay with Taiho. He is my friend. Hun Min looked troubled. The royal child must return. The queen waits. Our people need their future ruler. Just then, Jayan returned from the ship. The queen wishes to speak with the human who saved her child. She is coming here. Everyone fell silent. Even Agent Daesung looked shocked. The queen? Coming here? To my farm? Taiho could hardly believe it. Yes, Hun Min said. And she never leaves the royal ship. This is unprecedented. Within minutes, they heard another ship approaching. This one was larger and glowed with a soft purple light. It landed gently beside the first ship. A door opened and bright light poured out. A tall figure stood in the doorway. Even from a distance, Taiho could see that this alien was different. Her fur had purple and gold patterns, and she wore a crown of glowing crystals. The Queen of the Mirror Ray had arrived on Earth, and she was walking straight toward Taiho. The Mirror Ray Queen walked with grace across Taiho's yard. Her fur glowed with patterns more complex than any Taiho had seen. She stood taller than the other aliens, nearly 7 feet high. When she moved, her 6 limbs flowed like water. Hun Min, Saiwu, and Jayan all bowed low. Bayol also bowed, but stayed next to Taiho. Mother, Bayol said in the musical language of the Mirror Ray. Then in Korean, Bayol added, This is Taiho. He saved me. The queen's golden eyes studied Taiho. When she spoke, her voice was deep and clear. Human farmer, she said, you have done what no one in the galaxy thought possible. You have saved the last child of the royal line. Taiho bowed his head. I only did what anyone would do. Bayol was hungry and alone. The queen made a sound like soft laughter. You are modest, but your simple act of kindness may have saved not just my child, but our entire species. By now, more military vehicles had arrived. Helicopters circled above. Agent Daesung was on his radio, talking fast. Important people were coming. Your Majesty, Agent Daesung said nervously, our leaders wish to speak with you. They have many questions. The Queen nodded. That is to be expected. But first, I wish to speak with this farmer and his scientist friend. She looked at Hainul. You have studied our child. Hainul nodded. Yes, Your Majesty. Biel's body creates enormous energy when it processes the compounds in cow's milk. I've never seen anything like it. It is the key to our survival, the Queen said. For generations, our children have grown weaker. Many die before reaching adulthood. Our population has fallen to dangerous levels. Sai-Wu stepped forward with a small device. My Queen, I have analyzed this cow creature. The milk contains exactly the compound our people need, and there are millions of these animals on this planet. The Queen turned back to Taiho. Human farmer, I wish to make a proposal to your people. We offer an exchange. We need this milk compound to save our species. In return, we can give Earth technology beyond your imagination. Agent Daesung looked excited. What kind of technology? Clean energy that will never run out, the Queen said. Medicines that can cure many diseases, ways to clean your air and water, tools to grow food in any climate. A large black car pulled up. Men in suits jumped out and surrounded a tall, serious-looking man. The President. Agent Daesung whispered to Taiho. The President of South Korea walked toward them. He looked nervous but determined. Welcome to Earth, he said to the Queen. We have much to discuss. The Queen nodded. Indeed we do. But I wish this farmer to be part of our talks. He has shown kindness to my child when he had no reason to do so. I trust his judgment. The President looked surprised but nodded. If you wish. Taiho couldn't believe what was happening. Me? But I'm just a simple farmer. Biel pressed against his legs. You are more than that. You saved me when I was weak. You did not fear what was different. My people need more humans like you. The Queen made a gesture, and Sai-Wu handed her a small silver box. She opened it and took out a glowing crystal. She held it out to Taiho. This contains the plans for our first gift to Earth, she said. Clean energy that will never harm your world. Consider it a small thank you for saving my child. Taiho took the crystal. It felt warm in his hand. Will this help both our peoples? He asked. The Queen's fur patterns glowed brighter. It will be the first step in a new future for both our worlds. Taiho looked at Biel, then at Hainul, who nodded encouragingly. Then I accept, Taiho said. Let's build this future together. 3 months passed. Taiho's small farm changed in ways he could never have imagined. Where once there had been simple fields and a small barn, now there were shining buildings made of a material that looked like glass, but was stronger than steel. The main building was a milk processing center. Taiho had gone from having 1 cow to overseeing a special farm with 500 cows. All the cows were happy and healthy, living in clean, comfortable spaces with plenty of room to move around. Hainul ran the science part of the farm. She worked with Taiwu, who had stayed on Earth as the Mirror ambassador. Together, they studied how the special compound in cow's milk could be made in the most efficient way. The cows are producing twice as much milk as normal cows, Hainul told Taiho one morning as they walked through the farm. And the milk has even more of the compound that the Mirror need. Taiho nodded. The Mirror feed helps the cows make better milk. It's good for everyone. The most amazing thing was what happened to the land itself. Wherever the processed milk touched the soil, plants grew faster and stronger. Crops that usually took months to grow were ready in weeks, and they were bigger and healthier than any crops Taiho had ever seen. It's the waste product from the Mirror process, Sai-Wu explained when Taiho asked about it. When our bodies use the compound from the milk, we create a substance that gives life to plants. On our home world, it used to be part of the natural cycle. Word spread quickly. Farmers from all over Korea came to see Taiho's farm. Soon, other Harmony farms, as people called them, started in different countries. Each farm worked with mirror scientists to produce the milk compound and, in turn, receive the plant-growing waste product. One day, Tai-Ho was checking the new rice field when he heard a familiar voice. "The plants grow well, don't they?" Tai-Ho turned to see Baiyal. The alien cat had grown to the size of a small horse now. The patterns in Baiyal's fur were even more complex, with swirls of blue, purple, and gold. "Baiyal, you're back," Tai-Ho said with joy. Baiyal had gone to the mirror ships a month ago to learn more about being royal. "How was your time with your people?" "Educational," Baiyal said, using one of the new words learned during their studies. "But I missed this place. I missed you, my friend." Tai-Ho patted Baiyal's side. "I missed you too. Are you staying?" "Yes. Mother says I should learn about both worlds if I am to lead someday. I will split my time between our ships and Earth." They walked together through fields that were impossibly green and full of life. Workers nodded respectfully as they passed. Some were human, some were Mirrora who had come to Earth to help. "Did you see the news?" Tai-Ho asked. "The new energy plants are working in 10 countries now. No more dirty coal or dangerous nuclear power." Baiyal's fur glowed with pleasure. "And our young ones grow strong now. 20 babies have been born since we came to Earth. All are healthy because of the milk compound." They reached the top of a small hill. From there, they could see the whole farm. Solar collectors that looked like silver flowers turned to follow the sun. Workers harvested huge vegetables from fields that had once been poor soil. In the distance, a Mirror ship landed softly on a special pad, bringing visitors and scientists. "Who would have thought?" Tai-Ho said softly. "All this because I found a hungry alien cat in my rice field." "Mother says the universe works in strange ways," Baiyal replied. "Small acts of kindness can change worlds." Tai-Ho nodded. His small farm had become the center of a new age for both humans and Mirror. The simple act of feeding a hungry stranger had changed everything. "Tomorrow is the big ceremony," Baiyal said. "Are you ready?" Tai-Ho smiled. "As ready as a simple farmer can be to receive the Galaxy Peace Prize." As the sun set, they watched the stars come out together. The stars that were no longer just distant lights, but homes and destinations. The stars that connected their two peoples forever. 6 months after the Mirror first arrived on Earth, people from all over the world came to Tai-Ho's farm. The small piece of land that had once grown only rice and vegetables was now the first and most famous Harmony Center in the world. Tai-Ho stood on a stage built in the field where Baiyal's pod had crashed. He wore his best suit, though he still felt like a simple farmer despite all that had happened. Next to him stood Hanul, dressed in the formal white coat that showed her new position as head scientist of Earth-Mirror relations. In the front row sat important people from many countries, presidents, prime ministers, and kings. But Tai-Ho was most aware of the Mirror Queen, who sat in a special chair designed for her 6-limbed body. Baiyal sat beside her, now nearly as tall as his mother. The young royal's fur patterns had grown even more complex and beautiful. "Today, we celebrate 6 months of friendship between our worlds," said the president of South Korea, who stood at the speaker's podium. "What began with one farmer's kindness has grown into the greatest partnership in human history." The crowd clapped. Tai-Ho looked out at his farm. 20 Harmony Centers now existed around the world. Each one had a milk processing plant for the Mirror and a learning center where the two species could study together. The Mirror Queen rose to speak next. "My people were dying," she said simply. "Our children grew weak. Our future was dark. Then a ship carrying my only child crashed on a strange world, and a kind farmer fed my hungry child." She turned to look at Tai-Ho. "That simple act saved not just my child, but all my people. Now our children grow strong. Our plants bloom again with soil enriched by our partnership, and both our worlds grow cleaner and healthier." Baiyal stepped forward. In the past months, the young royal had become skilled at speaking to crowds. Bael's voice was clear and strong. 6 months ago, I was a lost and hungry baby, Bael said. Today, I stand before you as proof that kindness can change worlds. Taiho did not know what I was. He did not know I was royal. He only saw a hungry stranger, and he chose to help. Bael turned to Taiho. I have learned much from my human friend. He taught me that great changes often begin with small acts of kindness. This is a lesson I will carry when I someday lead my people. The president returned to the podium. And now, it is my great honor to present Farmer Taiho Kim with the first Galaxy Peace Prize, created jointly by Earth and Mirror. The crowd stood and clapped. Taiho walked forward shyly. The queen handed him a crystal trophy that glowed with inner light. Thank you, Taiho said when the clapping stopped. But I did nothing special. Anyone would help a hungry child. The queen made the sound that was Mirror laughter. That is why you deserve this honor, Farmer Taiho, because you see kindness as normal, not special. After the ceremony, Taiho walked alone to a quiet corner of his farm. Here, he had planted a small garden of his late wife's favorite flowers. For years after her death, the flowers had refused to grow. But now, in the soil enriched by the Mirror process, they bloomed more beautifully than ever. Taiho knelt and touched a blue flower. See, Sumin. Life finds a way to return, even after the darkest times. He felt a presence behind him. It was Bael. Are these special plants? Bael asked. Yes, Taiho said. They were my wife's favorites. They stopped growing when she died. Now they bloom again. Bael's fur glowed softly. Life connects in ways we cannot always see. Perhaps she knows what you have done. Taiho smiled. Perhaps. They stood together, watching the flowers sway in the gentle breeze. Above them, stars began to appear in the evening sky. Some of those stars now had names Taiho knew. Some had Mirror living near them. The universe had become smaller and friendlier. What happens next? Taiho asked. Bael's fur patterns shifted to show joy and hope. We begin again, together. And as night fell on the first Harmony Center, new flowers continued to bloom where once there had been only empty fields. Life, like kindness, found a way to grow even in the most unexpected places. The end.